forgot to mention this, so I'm going to move it to the beginning. But a huge thing with learning to shoulder hoop is that you need to be relaxed. When I was doing it, I was all tense, like, oh my god, is it going to stay up? It's not staying up. Oh my god, what do I do? So, make a playlist of your most favorite music and listen to that to keep you relaxed. The huge part. If you're not relaxed, you're not going to be able to shoulder hoop. So, listen to music, do what you need to do. You gotta make your whole body relaxed. And then the rest of the tutorial. Sorry. Okay, in this shoulder hooping tutorial, I am doing it with the assumption that you have been looking at a lot of videos already, and this is just to go along with it. It's tips that helped me in the key concepts that you should remember and keep in mind while trying to shoulder hoop. The first being that many people talk about the rolling of your shoulders and pushing the hoop with your chest and your back. Pushing your chest forward and pushing your back out. Well, when you're shoulder hooping, if you push and actually try to move the hoop with your chest or your back, then it's going to wobble. You're not pushing, it's a shoulder only trick. You're going to use the movement of your shoulders to, if you hoop to the left, you're going to use your right shoulder to push the hoop forward, and then this shoulder is just going to push it back. And it'd be the opposite if you hoop to the right. And your chest, when it's going to the front, you're not going to push the hoop with your chest. You're just going to move your chest out so the hoop has something round to go around. And when it goes to the back, you're not going to arch your back, like, see that jerking motion? You're not going to push it. You're just going to move it back. See how gentle that is? You're not actually pushing with your chest or your back. You're just gently putting it out there to give the hoop something round to go around. That's making a circle. And another thing to remember, besides that you're just using your shoulders to move it, you'll kind of be moving your torso in a circular motion to get that circle, and it's just real gentle. And your noodle arms. When you're hooping, you're not using your whole arms, they're not stiff. Shrug your shoulders up, down, forward, back, and move your arms out just that much. Those muscles that you just used are the only muscles you're using while you're hooping. The rest of your arms are noodle. Keep them completely relaxed. Okay, the next thing I'm going to go over is what helped me to get that motion of rolling my shoulders. It may sound stupid, but I put my hands on my knees. Sorry. I put my hands on my knees, and I make a circle with my torso, but you want to keep your shoulders right here. You want to try to keep your shoulders here, but move in a circle with your torso, and keep your hands on your knees. They'll just help you. So you're going to put your chest out, then you're going to have to go to the side, and then go back, and your shoulders, you're going to have to push them forward when you arch your back to keep them in that same spot. You're going to go around, and you're going to have to pull them towards the back to keep them in the same spot. And this is Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Your butt out of the video, doggy. There you go. Okay. And that just helped me to get the feel for how I'm going to roll my shoulders. Anyways, that got me to where I could roll my shoulders, but it still just got me to where I could hoop like this. As you can tell, it still wasn't working for me. I was able to keep the hoop up, but it still didn't look good. When I was using my push arm to bring it around, to keep the momentum going, I had to make a big drastic motion. I was having to move my body and actually kind of pop my chest out there. So then I kept looking at tutorials and I found Anna, aka Hoopilicious, and instead of rolling shoulders, she talks about pushing with your shoulders and then just opening your chest up in the front and opening it up in the back. But you're moving the top half of your body side to side and then just opening your chest up and closing your back. So if it's the rolling shoulders that's harmful, that's making it difficult for you, you can try looking at her tutorial, because that's what worked for me. And I will post links to the tutorials I found the most helpful, which was Gym Gen 101, Hoopilicious, filmed by Jaguar Mary, and Taylor Starr. Taylor Starr actually talked about, anyways, what she talked about, this is just to help you learn the motion of when to shrug your arm to get it moving up your body. I hoop to the left, so I'm going to stick my furthest arm in first, which would be my left arm. You stick it in, and you shrug it. Whenever it opens up in front of you, you're going to stick your hand, your arm in there, and you're going to shrug your shoulder down. When the hoop comes across your arm, you're going to shrug it up. A big, drastic motion. So I'm going to stick it down, up, up. And then once you get that down, you can put both arms in. She talked about your forearm shrug and then your close arm shrug, which I found very hard. So what I do is when it opens up, I stick both arms in and start shrugging. Another thing, well that's just going to teach you how to get it up there. If you learn it with the one arm first, then you'll get, okay, whenever it touches the front arm, that's when I'm going to shrug, and then you try putting both in. It's a lot easier if you spin. Everything's easier if you spin, because the hoop will be slow. Important trick. As you're doing this, you're bound to shrug. You're shrugging the whole time, but the amount of shrug is going to depend on if you're wanting to move down, up, or if you're just trying to keep it even, you'll barely move them. But you're bound to get it all the way up to your neck. And the way you get it down is you shrug your shoulder up to your chin. So whenever it's right here, you're going to shrug up to your chin. When the hoop comes down around it, you're going to move your arm down. And at the same time, you're going to move your other arm up. That way, because if you don't move this arm up, then it's just going to come around and it's going to be around your shoulder and your neck. So shrug up to your chin. When it hits your shoulder, move it down. Move this one up at the same time so that it catches the shoulder. And then move both shoulders down. See, that's what happens when you don't move your arm. And FYI, neck hooping doesn't hurt as long as you don't hit your shoulders. So like that. So I'm about to watch this to make sure, but I think that's it. And again, if you're having trouble with rolling your shoulders and keeping the hoop up, check out Hoopilicious video, but she talks about just pushing side to side. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention, when you're doing it, just doing this to show you my legs. I keep my legs slightly bent so that I can rock back and forth if I need to. That was bad because I was looking at the video. I keep my legs slightly bent so I can rock back and forth if I need to. I move my legs like that. That helps me to move my torso in a circle, and it also just keeps me relaxed instead of being all stiff. So that may help you, it may not. So if you're having trouble with rolling, watch her video. And I was also going to mention that as you're learning to shoulder hoop, it'll be easier if you spin in a circle and get, and you'll eventually get to the point that you can keep it up, but only when you're spinning. So the way you correct for that is as you're spinning, you'll stop and try to do 1 or 2 rotations on your chest, and then keep spinning. And keep doing that, and eventually you'll spin it more and more while standing still until you can. Or you can do like what I personally did, was I'd be spinning and then I'd stop and I'd hoop on my chest until I felt that I was losing it, then I'd start spinning again. You can catch it back and wait till you get back into motion, and then try stopping again and do it as many times as you can until you start losing it, and then start spinning again, and eventually you'll be able to just stand there and do it. I hope this helped, and I have several tutorials, I think like 4 or 5, I say several, in my description, so check out their videos. And again, if you're having trouble with rolling, look at Hoopilicious' video. She talks about just pushing side to side instead of rolling. Thank you! And I'm also going to have links for the neck to shoulders slow-mo and just me shoulder hooping in general slow-mo. I can't merge them into this video, so I'll just post links to it. And in the shoulder hooping one, you'll notice I start off spinning, and then I attempt to stop, and when I lose it, I just start spinning again. And as long as you never give up, you'll eventually get it. It just takes a long time. It took me over a month. And that was like, I worked on that quite a bit throughout that month, so it's very hard. So just don't give up.